Welcome to the Packer Mentality Podcast, where I try to keep you up to date and shed a little light on what is happening on and off the field with the Packers. Thank you all for tuning in. Your active participation has been and continues to be vital in transforming this channel into something truly special. Take a moment to subscribe, drop your comments, and connect with me on social media at Packer Mentality. Remember, you can always locate this podcast on all your favorite podcast platforms. The young, resilient Green Bay Packers, who defied the odds to secure an unexpected spot in the playoffs, will take on a familiar foe in the wildcard round. Familiar to the fans, that is, if not to a lot of the players on the Packers. They will face the NFC East champion and heavily favored Dallas Cowboys. Will the Cowboys' experience, firepower, and a star studded roster prove too much for this young team? Or will the Packers rise to the occasion and stun the football world? Let's dive in. This Cowboys team is really good. They finished 12-5 and come in as the number 2 seed. They have won all their games this season at home. They're 8-0 at home. And they're solid on both sides of the ball, finishing first in the league in scoring offense at 29.9 points per game and fifth in scoring defense at 18.5 points per game. Now, this Cowboys defense, it can be run on, which is good news for the Packers and Aaron Jones. In Week 15, the Bills ran for 266 yards. James Cook, 25 carries for 179 yards. Bills actually only attempted 15 passes the whole game, only completed 7, with Josh Allen at quarterback. Cowboys defense, they benefited from playing a bunch of bad offenses. They played the Giants twice. They played the Commanders twice. They also played the Jets, the Patriots, and the Panthers this season. And with those bad teams, there comes some bad quarterbacks. Now, the Cowboys, 17 interceptions on the season. 12 of them came against these guys. Daniel Jones, 2 interceptions. Tommy DeVito, 1. Zach Wilson, 1 game against the Cowboys, threw 3 interceptions. Mac Jones threw 2 interceptions. Bryce Young threw an interception. Sam Howell, in his 2 games against the Cowboys, he threw 3 interceptions. Good news for the Packers in a game against the 49ers, who run a very similar offense to the Packers. The Cowboys defense gave up 42 points and pretty much got run out of the stadium in that game. Cowboys secondary is pretty good. Both corners. Deron Bland, who's been excellent all year. Stephon Gilmore came over in a trade. Has had a great career. Not quite what he used to be, but is still a very good corner, a very smart corner. They're solid at the corners. Safeties might be their weak spot. Not quite as good as the corners. And the Packers could exploit them with their tight ends and slot receivers. The pass rush for the Cowboys is fierce. Micah Parsons, he is fast. He is strong. He is one of the best pass rushers in the league, if not the best pass rusher. 16 sacks, 24% win rate. Their defensive ends, both pretty good rushing the passer. Dorrance Armstrong, 9 sacks. DeMarcus Lawrence had 4 sacks. But their front, not as good against the run. They did not have great Pro Football Focus scores versus the run. On the other side of the ball, Cowboys offense, led by MVP candidate quarterback Dak Prescott, has had a terrific season. Led the NFL in touchdowns with 36, top 3 in QBR and passer rating. He throws the ball well downfield. He is really good on third down. He is mobile. He scrambles well, gets out of the pocket. When he does scramble, he doesn't just look to run the ball. He does look to throw the ball. Packers need to be solid in their coverage, and their pass rush needs to be disciplined and keep him in the pocket. Cowboys run the ball with Tony Pollard, over 1,000 yards on the season, averaged 4 yards per carry. And couldn't be a Mike McCarthy offense if they didn't have an alpha receiver with gaudy numbers. CeeDee Lamb is a terrific wide receiver. Had a great year. 135 receptions, over 1,700 yards receiving, 12 touchdowns. Offensive line is pretty good. Their left tackle, Tyron Smith, he's really good. Their right tackle is their weak point, especially in pass blocking. And he will be lining up against Rashawn Gary. And I expect Rashawn Gary to have a big day. Last season, Packers and the Cowboys did face each other. CeeDee Lamb and Tony Pollard both had big days. But the Packers did manage to come out on top due to Rudy Ford having 2 interceptions in the first half, which led the Packers touchdowns. Packers defense did give up 28 points in the first 3 quarters, but did finally make a couple stops in the fourth quarter, while the Packers offense came alive in the fourth quarter, especially due to Christian Watson, and they managed to win it in overtime. So, what do the Packers need to do on Saturday to win this game? Defensively, could be where the Packers get exposed. And with all the weapons on the Cowboys, I wish them luck because it is really going to be hard to slow them down. I think the key will be to make them as one dimensional as possible, limit Tony Pollard in the running game, force them into pass rush or passing situations where Rashawn Gary can take advantage of Terrence Steele. That is a mismatch. If Rashawn Gary doesn't have at least 1 sack or multiple sacks and a lot of pressures, Packers are probably going to be in trouble. Joe Barry, he's going to need to figure out how to limit the Dallas receivers if the pass rush isn't getting there because CeeDee Lamb is a beast. Jake Ferguson, their tight end, also a big part of their passing game. Alexander, who came back from his 1 game suspension and had one of his best games against the Bears. Of course, in practice this week, he rolled his ankle and his availability for Sunday is a little bit in question. However, reports on Thursday from the locker room said that he appeared to be walking normally and did not have a boot or anything on his ankle. Hopefully that is good news. But if he's out, we're back to Corey Valentine and Carrington Valentine against these wide receivers. I really don't know how that's going to work out. So it might be that once again, the burden of winning a game is going to fall on the Packers offense. I believe they need to score more than 30 points in this game. And to do that, you're going to have to win on first and second downs. Do not get into obvious passing situations where Micah Parsons can ruin your day. The offensive line, they need to be great, both in pass blocking and in run blocking, because Aaron Jones is also going to have a big day. Good news is that this young wide receiver group and tight end group, they've been really fun to watch when they are run blocking because they really get after it. Jordan Love needs to keep up what he's been doing over the past couple months, which is being the best quarterback in the NFL. And he has been for the last couple months. And to do that, he's going to need to get continued high-level, non-rookie play by his young wide receivers. Jaden Reed, Dontavian Wicks, Tucker Kraft, Bo Melton have all been just a revelation over the past few weeks. Just amazing high play, looking like longtime veterans. And hopefully the Packers can get some guys healthy or healthier. Luke Musgrave, who came back last week, finished the game without any setbacks and has said that he expects to do more this week. Romeo Dobbs, who left the game last week with an injury, hopefully he is back and healthy for this game. Christian Watson, he was huge against them last season. Is this the week he is finally back? I don't know. I can't answer that. He's been, of course, limited in practice all week. So we'll find out. If the Packers offense maintains its recent level of play or continues to improve with the addition of a full health Luke Musgrave and possibly Christian Watson, this game could be an amazing offensive shootout, and I actually kind of hope it is. Regardless of this outcome, while I won't feel good about losing this game, there will be some positives about having this team go blow for blow with the Cowboys. We'll know more in just a few days. Before we get out of here, your thoughts and comments are crucial to the conversation and the life of this podcast, so be sure to drop them in the comment section, subscribe, and connect with me on social media. Be on the lookout for my reaction episode after the game. Until then, have a great weekend. Enjoy the game because this is the playoffs and the Packers are playing. And go, Pack, go.